It's Alexa again, and I'm back with a sort of bookshelf tour, but not quite. It's going to be, as the title suggests, what I'm bringing with me to school. I'll be starting my PhD studying English literature. To do this, I'll be living in an apartment part-time a few hours away from where I currently live. So I'll be splitting my time between two places. I'll be doing most of my studies, except for when I come home for breaks and to visit my partner in where my school is located. So with that, I need to bring a few books with me. I don't know how much time I'll have to really read like fun things. I don't know what kind of stuff I'll be researching. I don't know what kind of stuff I'll be wanting to research, some side projects. So I'm going to bring a mix between some books I just want to read, some books I think I'll do research on based off of current interests I have or projects I've started previously, and just some comfort reads, all of that fun stuff. But so I thought it'd be really interesting if I took you along with that and sort of went through the process with you. I don't want to lug too much stuff back and forth, but I want enough to feel like I'm at home, and also I'm an English literature student that kind of revolves around books a little bit. All right, but so let's get started. I was going to try and take you to the first shelf with me, my bottom shelf where I keep all of my textbooks basically and my theory books, but it is basically on the ground and I could not make that not an awkward angle. So I just kind of pulled them out. You didn't need to see me pull them out anyway. I have a few other ones I'm not packing with me, but they're just ones I don't use as often. These are mostly my favorites and the ones I use the most based off of what I study. I don't think the other ones that I have are going to be that useful. I've never really used them before, or if I have, for very select projects. And if I end up needing them for one of my classes that I'll be taking, either my partner will bring it to me or I'll get it when I come home. I'm not too worried about it. They're kind of used very rarely. But so getting started with what I'm bringing. Orientalism by Edward Said. It is a foundational text for post-colonial theory, which is my bread and butter, basically. A couple more post-colonial texts. I have The Empire Writes Back, most remembered by me by Ashcroft et al., since that's how I end up citing it basically every time. A bunch of post-colonial stuff. Super great for writing a bunch of things about imperialism. All right, Colonial Discourse and Post-Colonial Theory by Patrick Williams and Laura Crispin. It is another like anthology type textbook, a bunch of different excerpts from a bunch of different varying levels of post-colonial studies. Some foundational stuff's referenced in here. Some other less foundational but still like very respected stuff. I use this a ton too. Those are like three things I use all the time for my own like choice studies. Huge paratext by Jeanette Giroux talks about the different form pieces of novels and of literature, titles, subtitles, introductions, what all of those purposes are. I end up drawing upon that a lot. Then the other piece of my studies, in addition to post-colonial theory, is Fantasy, How It Works by Brian Atterbury. I used this quite a lot for my master's final project, basically. I plan to do more research with fantasy. None of my classes, I don't think, are directly pulling on that too much, but it is my bread and butter. It's what I use a lot. It's the direction I want to go with my PhD, so how do I not bring it? Then finally, another big one in specifically what I study, another foundational scholar in a lot of ways, Archaeologies of the Future by Frederick Jameson. I've used this a lot, especially in a paper I'm getting published soon, fingers crossed. Most likely it looks at sci-fi and utopianism. It's great text, very clunky at times, relies a lot on Marxism. Then I have three others. They're not quite textbooks, but they fall in the textbook for like most intro literature students and classes, especially for American Lit. I don't focus too specifically on American Lit, but it is a little comfort bubble I have. I definitely prefer it to British literature, and I'm not as well versed in world literature as I want to be eventually, but so I have the 3 North American anthologies, 1865 to 1914, between the 2 world wars, and then post-World War II to basically now-ish / when this was published. So all of that fun postmodernism stuff. All right, so those are my textbooks, basically. Onto the more fun stuff. Onto my next little stack of books. I was going to show me pulling them off the shelf, but I ended up bringing a little bit less than I thought I was going to, which is really good actually. So this is pulled from my bookshelves of all my completed reads, and this is a bit of a mix between comfort reads and books I'm planning on working on some more research for, mostly like projects I plan to improve, revisit some existing papers to polish them up and submit them for publication. So I don't know how interesting getting into my motives is, so that's neither here nor there. It is here. But so, first up, I have All Systems Red by Martha Wells, the first book in the Murderbot series. I also am going to pack the second and third one. They're just stashed in my TBR cart. So a slightly different place than my bookshelf. But no, those 2 are coming. I have a paper I'm really proud of with this that I want to finish up and work on and potentially submit. Just a series I enjoy. I think I'll be able to continue reading it even while I have a busy, rigorous schedule. Next, I have M.A. Carrick's The Mask of Mirrors trilogy. I'm just holding the first book, but I also have the second and third pulled aside. The Liar's Knot and Labyrinth Heart. This is a mix between a comfort read and a fantasy publication attempts, but I love that series. They're nice, feel good. The next 2 are very much another feel good. They're just like comfort childhood favorites. So I'm TAing for a children's literature course, so I guess that's an excuse for bringing it, but I don't think I needed an excuse to bring books that make me happy and comfortable, especially when ultimately this is a huge life change for me, since I'll be long distance from my partner for the first time, and just like I'll be living with someone I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do. I'll be away from my support system, etc. But so, enough rambling. It is the Last Apprentice series. The first 2 books by Joseph Delaney, Revenge of the Witch and Curse of the Bane. I only have the first 2, which is good because I'd be lugging all 13 if I had them, or all 13 plus whatever little like halves and bonus books I ended up owning. I eventually want to own the other 11, but I'm just kind of accumulating these really slowly. I'm due for a little bit of a reread. These are pretty light and not light and fluffy. They're a little bit like, they're dark-ish for their age group. I would say like a little spooky. They have a little warning at the beginning, like, don't read this after dark. You'll get scared, because it's for 6th graders, not late 20-year-olds. It is one of my like childhood favorites. I still think of it as a favorite in my mind, which I feel sometimes a little embarrassed about, but also it's childhood favorite. I'm allowed nostalgia. And then finally, I have 2 classics, kind of three because this first one is a combo. This one is a bit of a combo. It is William Hill Brown's The Power of Sympathy and Hannah Webster Foster's The Coquette. It's more of a project in progress, but also The Coquette is a classic that's really interesting in a lot of ways to me. It's just very weird. It's very of its time, but also very kind of not quite subverting. It doesn't follow through on its subverting, but it is about a woman who gets seduced, and she's just, it's very hard to explain without like explaining the sympathy novel genre, which that can be another video. And then finally for the stack, I have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, my annotated edition. I have a really cool copy I just got for my birthday from my sisters from the 1930s, and that is one of my prized possessions, but I am not about to bring that with me. I don't need it with me. It's just going to be there for me to stare at and ogle, and I don't need it. I'm going to leave it on my bookshelf in the living room here and just prized possession it. Alright, next up I'll be going through the books I have not read yet and see what I'll be bringing and see if there's anything I missed off of these shelves. One of the things I was really debating between was the Hunger Games trilogy plus the Song of Songbirds and Snakes, title probably butchered. I thought about it. I think that's something I'm going to be like, I'll want to really dig into. I've been wanting a reread of it, and I still haven't read the first prequel I have. I, of course, have not, therefore, read the Sunrise on the Reaping just yet. Eventually, I want to. I'm kind of just seeing where it goes. I didn't want to overtake too many books with me. Books are really heavy. And I still don't know what books I need for my classes just yet. So, yeah. All right, next stack will be the books I'm pulling from my TBR cart. All right, so I thought for this part I'd go through a bit of my TBR cart with you. I'm not going to fully break down every book I have on here. That will have to be for another day when I am ready to face that slight amount of shame has gotten way out of control. It was supposed to just, as long as I keep it to the cart, it is okay. That didn't happen, but we're working on it. I'm just gonna go through and pull some stuff, and then I will show you guys what I found, or what I'm bringing, I guess. Okay. Here is the third book in the Murderbot Diaries. The second one is in my living room from when I was, in theory, going to read it for my 24-hour readathon, but nonetheless.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO. Babe, I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice. Crank the AC to 79 and make a little island right here.
Discovering books I didn't even realize I had, / why is one of my books not with the rest in the series? I don't know. Now this is where it really gets out of hand. My TBR pile of shame. We have a problem. I am working on my problem. I am aware of my problem.
And there ain't a palm tree inside, but there's not a cloud.
I'm bringing my buffalo with me. That is not a book, but it must come with me. It counts. It's with my books.
Your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and
I think I'll bring at least one of the mystery thrillers I have backlogged. I think that's something I might really want to have a little break from school with. I think that might be nice. That's what I should be doing. I should be bringing a little bit more, not brain rot books, but let me turn my book off, not just focus on books I want to do projects on. Yeah. My brain is going to need a break, or I will implode.
blender, baby, slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it. Cause paradise is wherever we make it. Paradise is wherever we make it. Till the sun's up Monday, we'll tell our phones, do not disturb. I got my straw hat, babe. And you can finally pull the tags on your Tommy Bahama shirt. Blue crush up on the 85-inch sound machine. When we wanna hear the ocean, I think everything we need is right.
Alright, gonna do one last look through quick on this cart. I don't know what an appropriate amount of books to bring is. I can always bring more. I can always swap them out. That is a huge thing here, is my ability to return and like take back and change around basically all of the time. I should update my Goodreads page. Follow me on Goodreads if you want for updates of what I'm reading and what I'm thinking about what I'm reading.
Right here, and there ain't a palm tree inside, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender. Baby, slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it, 'cause paradise is wherever we make it. Paradise is wherever we make it. Oh, this view of you, it's got everything I need. Yeah, the rooms, they're cheap, and if we don't want it, we don't ever, ever, ever have to leave. Yeah, there might not be a palm tree inside, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender. Baby, slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it, 'cause paradise is wherever we.
I'm back and I've just finished grabbing of the other books I want to bring with me. These are from my TBR cart, more or less, technically unread, even if they were technically in a different spot of my house. Minutia, doesn't matter. I have the second and third Murderbot Diaries books. They're just short novellas. They're just short novellas that I could easily fit into my schedule. They're books I've been wanting to read. The next book I've just been itching to read all summer, and then it just never happened. Mary Tudor, Princess, Bastard, Queen by Anna Whitelock. I got this from my friend from Michaela, actually, like 2 years ago for Christmas, and I've been meaning to read it. I just haven't had the time. And when I've been ready to pick out a new book where I'm a little bit more free on what I pick, it just hasn't been that. But so I'm bringing it. Next is Lady Tremaine by Rachel Hockhauser. It hasn't been on my TBR for that long, but I think I'm ready for some interesting fairy tale retellings. I feel like it'll fit well with the children's TA, the children's literature class I'm TAing, but more so I think I might just have something brewing in the back of my head with fairy tale retellings. Either way, I just think it seems fun. Next we have Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. It's loved on this channel by Michaela mostly, but eventually the love will be added onto me. I will love it as well, I'm sure. I love funny stuff. For my brainier moments, if I have any brain space to share, I have The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Quintessential fantasy of the 2000s, basically. On to my last three books. These are just mostly light fun I've been wanting to get to, or I think they'll fit nicely. Give my brain a little break, or some combination of the three. Made for You by Lynn Painter. Such a fun last name. I just think a light, fluffy contemporary will be really fun to mix in there, especially if I'm feeling something physical for it. Then I have a mystery thriller suspense type thing. The Return of Elle Black by Emiko Jean. I have no idea what this is about. I just know it's a mystery thriller suspense somewhere in there. And that will be really fun, especially if I start getting spooky circa October. Then, for some reason, this last book I've just been itching to read, but I have dismissed reading it just because of its length. It's a bit intimidating. The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. This is a chunky book, which, some of the other ones I've grabbed are chunky, but this one, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. It is $545 if you count the glossary. I don't count the glossary because I'm not really reading it start to finish like that. Okay, it's $539. Chunky, but nothing too crazy. It's kind of a lot if I mix it in with my studies. But I've been itching to read it, so it kind of wins. Alright, so those are the books I plan on bringing with me. That might change throughout the semester when I find out what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, how much time I actually have. It's kind of all a mystery. I'm potentially over bringing books, especially since I don't have any of the books I need for classes yet. And who knows, but also, like, I'm a lit student, I need reference material. I hope you found it interesting. I feel like it's kind of interesting to see what someone who's studying literature at this level is bringing with them. Let me know if you saw something that I should have brought, but I didn't, or if I am wasting my time bringing something, or what you would have brought instead, anything like that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye! Interrupting the regularly scheduled ending of this video, just wanted to hop in quick with my bookshelf all set up. I have books I'm currently working on for essays and stuff, textbooks and related, and then all of the books I brought, focusing a little bit more. I tried to, honestly there is no organization, just wanted it to look nice. Then there's space for my class books. Once I get those, I intend to put them here and here. And then printer, because printer important. Right, but so back to the end.